Hey, what's up, my soap peeps? This is my soap ranking video for the month of January 2026. This is something I used to do on my Saturday lives, at the end of the month on my old channel, Danny Bear 87, in which I just put the soaps in order of, which one was the best, which one's the worst, and then, of course, the in betweens. I've done it from talking about the best to talking to about the worst. Then I've done it worst to best, and I still haven't figured out which way is best. But I was thinking, when I watch, like the soap replay, sports replays, they usually show, well, not the worst, but, the one that's good, and then they, show the best one last. So I was thinking maybe I should do it that way. And then maybe I could try next month doing best to worst, but, uh, and then see how well I like both doing both. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But we're gonna talk the worst to the best, okay? But of course, once you get to the fourth soap, you already know what the number one is. But stick around to the end anyways, just to hear what I have to say. But anyways, I'm gonna you know, talk which soap it is, and then why it's bad or why it's good, and the good and the bad of all of them eventually. But anyways, let's start with number five. Third, sorry. Anyways, so I was going back and forth between this soap and another soap of being at the bottom, and after yesterday's episode, it definitely deserves to be the bottom, and that is The Bold and the Beautiful. Bad because how still pissed off that they're doing this thing where Deacon is in love with. He even told Taylor. I don't know if I talked about that in my review. I did a review yesterday. I don't know if I mentioned, but he told Taylor that he loved her, if I'm not mistaken, or am I just overhearing trauma because it's been a very traumatic week. But this is all just sprung on so fast, and after all the shit that Sheila has done Deacon to, take this as a reason to walk away from her is really stupid. And I guess it's just Bold and Beautiful's way of trying to turn Sheila back into not all there Sheila, which, I say I don't mind if she does that to them. But in a way, I want her to rise above that at the same time. But I don't know, we shall see. But also this whole thing with Aunt Ivy, she's just an instigator, annoying ass chick that I don't understand why is still on the show, honestly. And just some aunt, just trying to put all these doubts in her niece's head. But like I don't see a reason for her to be on. She hasn't done anything since I've been back watching almost a year now. A year in April. I've been back watching. Oh lordy. But I have to give it to Bold and Beautiful. The reason why I was going back and forth between this soap and soap number four was that they actually did a really good job at focusing on like all the storylines that they have going on. With the whole, Katie creating her Logan brand, and Brooke and what's her husband, Ridge, getting all mad about it, and now Eric is working with Katie. It's like drama, good old drama. And also, the whole Sheila and Deacon and Will, Dylan, and Electra. And I really don't care about Carter and Daphne because, why? Which I do have to question Daphne. Like, why would you want to marry a man who literally was just about to marry another woman? And the only reason that didn't happen is because she went back to her ex. So, whatever. I thought she had better sense in her since she did leave because she knew that she liked Carter, but Carter was with Hope, so she left. So I have to give her that, but whatever. But all in all, it hasn't been too bad with the repetitiveness, because that's one thing that just bugs living out of me. Is like they just recycle storylines, but I think they did a pretty decent job with not as much not as much repetitive shit. But anyway, on to soap number four. I'll give it to Beyond the Gates. I thought they started the year out right with all the drama with Anita's cancer, and then the gene that could lead to you probably having cancer, having a chance, better chance at getting cancer with the rest of the family. Great drama, so many great scenes. Like I still. That's still the scene when Danny finds out she has a gene, and then Nicole goes over and they lay together and then reminisce together. I just really love that. I thought that was just really sweet and stuff. And then, um, of course, Danny's kids had to get tested, and Naomi does have it, but she's hiding it from everybody. It was just and then Kat not wanting to get tested at all, and it was just so much drama. I had its really good moments, but I think they focused way too much on it. That's why they're down at number 4. Is the show, but that stuff is good to have that stuff as good drama and what if scenarios, but you can't completely put everything into a storyline like that. That can be your main focus. That's sad and depressing. You have to mix up some funny, it's still drama because it's a soap opera, but some more positive, fun stuff. And I just felt like they just really just honed into that whole cancer stuff way more than it should. I mean, yeah, because, Anita's the one with the cancer. Danny and Naomi, they have, they have the gene, but, the gene doesn't guarantee you'll get cancer. It just heightens your chance of getting cancer. So they put too much drama into that. And I feel like they focus a lot more on that than they did Anita. But I noticed in the last couple of weeks, especially this week, it was more focused on Anita, which I was watching yesterday's episode, and Anita noticed her hair was coming out. I'm like, girl, we all know that's a damn wig. so, so that's the only thing I could. That's the only thing I could do at that scene. I'm like, girl, that is a damn wig. Just go buy yourself another. I know I shouldn't laugh, but I know if that's Tamara's hair is much shorter and curly. I know that's a damn wig. It's a very obvious wig. You didn't have to know what her real hair looks like to know that's a damn wig. But I know we're just gonna go ahead and pretend that that is not a wig. So, anyways, at least they're going with that because there was another soap. I want to say I think it was Willow on General Hospital when she had cancer. She didn't lose any hair. There was another soap that did a storyline like that, and the person didn't lose any hair. Very unbelievable. But anyways, I don't really like to watch cancer storylines because it's really sad, and usually they don't actually really die. But I will give it. I'll give it to Beyond the Gauge. They haven't done this storyline before, so I'll see how it plays out. Then yeah, there's a lot of drama with whole cat stuff. Her against Eva. I understand Cat's stance. It's stupid, but whatever. But they're still dragging out that whole thing. And but I did see some really good stuff. Some Love in the Afternoon. I really like Shanice and Ted. I thought they were really cute. I'm glad they brought back Kyle. I thought they were gonna be done with the character, but it's good to see Greg Vaughn. And somehow it's miraculous, awesome that they found a way to get me to actually like Ashley again. I didn't think this was ever gonna be possible. So bravo, Beyond. But I just loved her scenes with Naomi trying to help her get the testing and everything, and then finding out that she does have it. But I think it's stupid that Naomi is keeping it for everybody because it doesn't mean that she has cancer. Like I said, her chances are heightened with the genes. I just felt like that's just very dramatic. But those scenes were really great, and I actually like her with Grayson. It's good that they brought in Jordy. He's beautiful, man. He's been on so many soaps, Days of Our Lives, now gonna Restless, and there was another soap he was on too. I can't think of it right now, but the All My Children. He was on All My Children. Yeah, so it's good to bring him in, but they really need to do away with Derek. He definitely brought her back down when he went to her and told her that he was retiring. He had to retire as a firefighter. Yeah, so that was a downside, but it's like, yeah, it's Derek that definitely brings it down. Oh yeah, Danny and I thought it was hot. Danny and oh Lord, Bill kissed, and then Bill was having that um daydream about banging Danny on his desk. I thought that was funny. But hopefully, Madison is able to figure out, or whoever is taking her place is able to figure out that Bill is being drugged. Let's get to that. I thought that he was, already suspicious of Haley, but apparently not. And he just told Haley everything that Madison told him, which is not a good thing because, she'll change it up or whatever. But anyways, on to soap number three. I try not to dwell too much on it, but yeah, that's why bringing it down with the cancer stuff. But by the end of the month, it feels a little more balanced. But anyways, on to soap number three. I'll give it to Days of Our Lives. This month has been not that great for Days of Our Lives, but they still had a lot of really fun stuff going on in the month, like Dimitri being back and, him trying to get Leo back and making Javi feel like crap that he ran him out of town. But then again, Javi did go see his father. But that's the last time we'll see that Javi. Another Javi will come back. Another another actor will be playing Javi. Sorry, my bad. Um, yeah, that's definitely a highlight for myself. I definitely. Yeah, we learned but a lot of times they were kind of dragging out storylines, but the funness with the Damaris always wins with Gwen and her drama, and we were finally able to wrap up Jennifer trying to steal Chad's kids away from him. And I'm finally wrapping up some storylines like, the bones were Stefano's, so we can put Stefano to rest. It looks like that's what they're gonna do next week. I forgot to watch the promo, but I saw the title, and it's like, yeah, this is probably when they put back the rest. And Theo finally got out of the hospital. I swear that boy he was in the hospital since before Christmas, but I don't know if they're gonna remember that, remember he was having some sort of memory problems. I guess that will pop up again down the line. But I thought it was really good. They're starting to get a little more, cause trying to figure out, what's going on in that chamber or thingy in the lab. But it felt like they were like kind of like put that to the side. But there seems like they're getting closer and closer to revealing that and learning everything about, the Demira kidnapping. So, moving storylines along, I would say, is really good with Days of Our Lives. But, they had a week or two where it's just kind of like a little slow with just a little excitement into it. But I think they finished off the month really interesting. The one thing they even heightened up, I don't know. I keep wanting to call her Paige because she's just as annoying as Paige was. But Sophia, yeah, they're finally getting to what Sophia's trying to do. She found out that Chanel is pregnant, so I think she's going to do something to either cause Chanel to lose the baby or make her look like she's an unfit mother. So even though I don't like Sophia, I'm interested to see what she will do to mess with Johnny and Chanel. And it's good to see Melinda again. Yeah, but of course the downside is, they did that big firing at the beginning of the month, getting rid of the actors that played Johnny Chanel and Holly and Tate, which I think is a big mistake. But it looks like they might be bringing back um Eli and Lonnie back full time. So if that's the case, then I can be okay with that. But it still hurts to lose those four. But other than that, I think these are lies in the middle. I think it fits. I think it fits. Anyways, of course you're gonna know what number one is after I say this, but if you know me, you might be shocked who I put at number one. But yeah, look, you're gonna know. Anyways, I don't know why I'm dragging this out. It's anticipation. Do a captain. I'm sorry. The number two soap of the month. I'll give it to General Hospital. I think they did a lot of really awesome stuff this month. Finally, if anything, but this week's episodes definitely help it beat out Days of Our Lives, and that is with Bit Brit, Brit finally, finally telling Jason the truth so he can help her get away from it and bringing in that dude Ross. I think they showed him before, the WSB dude. I'm trying to think. Cause I swear I've seen him before, so it's just been a while. But so they revealing that he was the one behind everything, and pretty sure that he's the one torturing Anna in her little safe space. I mean, she's got nicer setups than some people's got places. I swear there's a kitchen in there, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Anna being tortured is kind of funny. That's what you get for not taking care of your boo Valentine. If you loved your boo Valentine, he would have been out of prison. Ah, Lordy. But I'm glad that they're getting to the heighten of the storyline. Also, with Nathan kind of like teasing that maybe he's not really Nathan. And I heard that Max is waking up within the next week or so. So that is good. That we finally get to the point of, why Nathan's back alive or back alive. He could be Peter. I wouldn't put that past him. I did talk about that in my review. So watch my review if you want me to go more in that. Other good stuff this month. Um, oh lordy, I just drew a blank. The Not only did Britt tell Jason, but it looks like they were getting really close together, and then of course, she was forced to get rid of him, but now they're back together, and it consummated their relationship. So there's no going back. There's no going back now. Damn it. Yeah, it's like it just felt like they were moving a lot more storylines more forward, and definitely could appreciate that because these are General Hospital is they're really good with their scenes. They definitely cause a lot of drama and fun, but when you step back and look at it, you know the storylines, a lot's going into them, and they just last way too long. Way too long. Like I said, the storyline with, the cold fusion and stuff, this all started before I got back into watching General Hospital last June. So we're at 7 months now, at least of what is going on. But definitely the funny thing that really made me love this month is Willow got off for killing Drew, and then she stuck him and caused him to have a stroke. And he's been off TV since, but I guess she's probably going to be a sole provider and probably torture the living hell out of him. And I'm all here for it. I'm Team Willow, even though she still, mess with Daisy. But, anybody that can stick it to Drew is really good. And the drama around that whole court scene, I have to say, General Hospital's done the best court scenes I've seen on soaps in a while. Last year with the custody thing, and then now this year with Willow's drama. I have to give it to them on that. Down thing is that yeah, the I'm still trying to wrap my head around they would have cousins Danny and Charlotte making out. That's no, that's disgusting. They're blood cousins. They're both blood Cassadines. Unless I am wrong here, Valentine is a blood Cassadine. I know Sam is because of Alexis. So, and then Trina being annoying as hell definitely doesn't help out anything. Doesn't help out anything for sure. But all in all, General Hospital is really good, and I have to say it's been one of the most consistently good, awesome soaps that keep you on edge of your seat and wanting you to watch. Except for some of the Friday episodes are kind of blah, but yesterday's episode definitely is probably one of the best Fridays episodes I've seen in a while. But anyway, of course, you already know number one soap, Young and the Restless. You know why I say that's surprising? Because if you know me, know that I like I watch Young and Restless, but sometimes it just pisses me off so much that I turn it the fuck off because of mustache Victor Newman is usually the culprit of that. But I give it to Young and Restless this month because every episode was consistently good. I can't think of an episode where I'm like, why am I watching this shit? It's really awesome with Kane and Phyllis going able to, reverse the AI program and then take over Newman. I just thought that that was just really awesome. Though some of the scenes with Phyllis were kind of annoying, especially when she was talking to Daniel and especially with Nick. Now Summer's pissed at her. That's just so stupid. I just don't understand why what's they're people's kids get mad at them for being dumb. I don't understand, but well, Summer, I still don't understand why Kane's kids don't like them because I'm sure they're still living off of somebody's money, not their own money. But Summer, she does have her own business. So okay. But I thought that was hilarious watching. It looked like Victor. That alone, with Victor looking like he's about to cry, that alone made the month. And I was like, yeah, Young and Restless is definitely killing it. And they're like, oh no, I'm gonna lose everything, mom. And it's just hilarious to see everybody just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And Jack and Billy, Kyle was even enjoying it too. That's why he had to hide that from Claire the other day. He's like, let's just not talk about this because damn well Kyle was, they were popping champagne and shit with Diane and stuff. And it would have been cool if they brought back Ashley and Tracy also. The Abbotts all have a party to celebrate the Newman's downfall. Victoria's the one that was getting on my nerves though, talking to Billy. Like, girl, your kids are part Abbott too, and their legacy is not just Newman. It's also Abbott also, which your dad was your dad was going to bring down as well. But those scenes were hilarious, and the fact that it looks like they're finally done with the whole Matt stuff. But I thought it was funny how Nick thought he was gonna handle Matt, and then got in the car accident, and then he messed up his leg. And it looks like he might be into pills soon, because he was in a lot of pain trying to leave the hospital. Like, what the fuck you gonna do with this AI program drama leaving the hospital? Dude, you couldn't even handle Matt Clark. But you had to get your old ass daddy involved, but whatever. I still don't see what Nick did except for just make people worry about him. But I did like that Kyle was the one that was able to get Matt Clark and kidnap him, but that was even funnier that Victor didn't give a fuck. but then yeah, Hurt Nick was going to take out Matt Clark, but whatever. But I thought all those scenes were just really funny and awesome. I enjoyed Victor's downfall for sure. But all the fighting with Sally and Billy is annoying. It's just Sally just trying to change Billy. Billy is a mess up, a fuck up who just he wants chancellor, but he already just started this company with Sally, and she's just like shitting all over him, which is understandable. But girl, you know exactly what you were getting into when you were with Billy in the first place. Yeah, so that's on you, Trick. Sorry, I do like Sally, but I prefer her with Adam. But they can't be together or whatever. But the downside is Victor is that pretty much everybody was just shitting on Kane and Phyllis for hurting the Newmans when it's just so amazing that all the drama and shit that Victor has done to everybody in town, nobody jumps on Victor or even any of the Newmans really that bad for, what they've done. Nobody said anything when Victor took over Erebus, didn't say, nobody, especially, the Newmans, they didn't jump on Victor for, I mean, Nikki gets on him sometimes, but all the stuff that he's done with the Abbotts, Victoria doesn't even get in his face about that. He was like, when Jabot went offline and stuff, Victoria didn't get in Victor's face, getting all mad, like, "Are you really trying to take down Abbott's or blah 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 blah?" No, she didn't do none of that shit. So, girl, bye. That's why I was like, Victoria, we've been doing really well, and then you go and do this shit. So, but Kane and Phyllis are horrible for sticking it to the Newmans when it was bound to be their time to go down. And especially the scenes with Nick and Sharon getting on Phyllis and Sharon comparing um comparing Phyllis to that dude that kidnapped them last year. I'm like, it's not that goddamn serious, Sharon. Shut the fuck up. And I was like, oh my god, I just told Sharon to shut the fuck. Sharon's one of those characters. One of the very, very, very few, like, I can count on less than one hand of the characters that have never got on my nerves on the Young and Restless. Because Young and Restless is one of those soaps that it doesn't matter um who's on. Most of the characters I just don't like. Is though they have the most unlikable characters to me, anyways. And Sharon has always been one of those characters I never felt that way about. So her doing that is stupid. And they also, I don't know why or what possessed them to think that the whole Mariah storyline is really stupid, and now she kidnapped Dominic. It's just like, those just seem really out of the blue because we haven't really seen Dominic or Devon or Abby. We haven't really seen them in a long time. And then all of a sudden they pop up, and now Mariah, she's talking to oh lordy, Ian, right? And she's thinking that she sees him, and now she's kidnapping Dominic for some reason. I don't know, but the good thing is that they were able to figure out that is indeed Mariah. So now they just gotta find out where she is. So I guess that's a good thing. That's not being dragged out too much. Maybe I don't know, but Abby's trying to. Abby's like, I'm gonna call my daddy and get him to find out stuff. And I'm like, I still think it's just so crazy that everybody, tries to go to Victor for shit. Like, what his old ass gonna do? Not only that, but he's like, doesn't have any money now. Really? I don't know how that's working, but who's it gonna pay? Who's gonna want to work for Victor when he ain't got no money? I don't know, but that's really weak on Abby and Devon also, but whatever. Well, that's my rankings for the month. Um, the worst being Bold and the Beautiful, then Beyond the Gates, Days Were Lies, General Hospital, and Young and Restless being the best soap. Let's see how well that continues with Young and Restless into February. Let me know what soap. Do you watch all the soaps? Do you agree? Well, sorry. Do you agree with my rankings? Do you watch all the soaps, or how many soaps do you watch, and how do you feel? How do you think they did? This month. I guess technically this month since it's the 31st. But all in all, I have really enjoyed all five soaps this month. It's just you know some more than others. Bold and Beautiful. Let me stop. Anyways, let me know in the comments. What do you think? And what do you think of this type of video? Is there some? Would you like to see this type of video every month? What anything I can do differently, or focus more on or less on? Let me know. And if you like this video, hit the like button. Subscribe for more videos about all five soaps. And I will let you guys go. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. Love you guys. Bye.